Welcome back. Well, the Memphis field office of the FBI is putting out an alert about an increase in extortion scams, and it might be a little bit alarming because they're known as sextortion scams, and they're involving young boys. Well, today we have Randy Hutchinson from the BBB here to tell us more about these awful scams. Randy, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit more about how sextortion scams work?
Well, the particular variation that the FBI put the alert out involves young boys, teenage boys who meet someone online through a game, an app, social media, who they think is a teenage girl, and the scammer convinces the young boy to engage in some sort of explicit activity online, records it, then comes back and demands money, or else the crooks will release the images. But these sorts of scams also target other people, girls, adults. The FBI issued an alert also about these sorts of scams being perpetrated on LGBTQ dating websites. And in another variation, victims receive an email saying that the crook has installed spyware on their computer, recorded them doing something illicit, visiting porn sites, and if they don't pay a ransom immediately, they'll release those images. The FBI received more than 18,000 sextortion-related complaints last year, and most people don't report them, so the number is far higher.
I mean, even 18,000 is a lot. Can you give us an example of when this has happened or what that's looked like?
Yeah. A 17-year-old Michigan boy committed suicide in March after falling victim to the scam. He met someone on Twitter he thought was a young girl, convinced him to share an explicit photo. They demanded a lot of money from him. He said, I only have $300. He said, all right, we'll take it. He sent them the $300, killed himself when they came back and demanded more money. And between the first request for money and when he killed himself, only 6 hours had passed. And another scam, a Florida man was sentenced to 105 years in prison after he convinced hundreds of girls all over the world, teenage girls, to engage in sexual activity online and then threaten to share the images unless they continued to do it.
Oh, wow. Those are some disturbing examples there. So what is the FBI's advice to protect anyone from falling victim to these scams? Because those are some pretty dire.
For adults and adults, parents pass on to their kids. Be careful, obviously, about what you share online. Be wary of anyone you encounter for the first time online. Remember, they might not be who they claim to be. Encourage your children to report suspicious activity to a trusted adult. If only the young boy in Michigan had reported the issue to his parents, he might not have committed suicide. Calm down before taking any action. A lot of these things are, particularly these emails, are completely bogus threats. And report the crime to a local FBI office. Don't delete any information, emails, or other communications until they've had a chance to review the material.
All right, Randy, thank you for making us aware of this midday, and thank you for joining us. We'll be right back after the break.